Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I am simply amazed at the stupefying irony of a man who changed his name from Sukaran, calling me xenophobic. The Attorney General of the government of Trinidad.
1 second, please, members. No, Senator Roberts, we don't allow that phraseology which you just used to open your contribution. No, Senator Roberts. Senator, no, not that. Please, just don't go down that road. Continue your contribution, but do not go down that road.
Thank you, sir. Let me, please, I will continue, Mr. Vice President.
Senator Roberts, there's a standing order being raised.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I rise now not on 48.1, but on 44.4 and 44.6, and also 46.4 and 46.6. Because, Mr. Vice President, to say I've changed my name is not only an unadulterated untruth, but it is to go to the basis level of disgusting behavior, Mr. Vice President.
Okay, so, Attorney General, I've ruled on that. I've warned the Senator. Senator, continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Emotions running high with a lot of hair dye. Dominican Republic, the last time I checked...
Senator Roberts. We are not going down that road. I'm not going to repeat the phrase. There's no need to go down that road. Just continue the contribution and leave out what I usually refer to when I'm in the chair as the extra seasoning. There's no need for it. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. We don't have extra seasoning because we don't have $2 for condiments. But the Honorable Attorney General stated in his presentation that our people could look to opportunities in the Dominican Republic. The last time I checked in 2013, November, CARICOM suspended the application for full membership of the Dominican Republic because of their treatment of Haitian migrants. So I would like the Attorney General or any minister who's coming after to please correct the record, because I don't see in this bill that any national of Trinidad and Tobago will be able to get any job in the Dominican Republic. And for an Attorney General to be discussing a bill on CARICOM and not understand what is observer status as opposed to full status speaks for itself. Clearly, the Attorney General is neither a good businessman nor a good Attorney General. Senator Leiter does business. He invests capital in CARICOM and territories. This bill does not deal with capital investment.
Being raised.
46.6.
Okay, so Senator Roberts, just like I said, I've cautioned you before in the references to members in the way that you're referencing them. Continue.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Honorable Attorney General said and stated right here just a few moments ago that my honorable colleague, Senator Leiter, the great businessman that he is, that he invests money and has businesses across the Caribbean, which is very true. But this bill that we're debating here, sir, as you eloquently put it, is not about investment in capital investment or opportunities in the Caribbean. This bill deals with human beings. So I'm not sure what the Attorney General was talking about or trying to debate. This bill, Senator Leiter could have stood up on 46.1 when the Attorney General was debating and stopped him for relevance. But Senator Leiter believes in free speech, no matter how irrelevant and nonsensical a contribution. So Senator Leiter also has assured me that when he comes into cabinet, when this PNM government, we see the back of you all very shortly, that he certainly will never sit in cabinet and rent out his own building. The Attorney General just commended a UNC member of Parliament.
Senator Roberts. Yes, sir. You are, in your contribution, along certain lines, slipping in certain comments that would, let me finish, that would put you in breach of certain standing orders. Again, I'm now going to warn you, just be careful how you slip in those comments in your contribution. Continue.
Mr. Vice President, I'm very confused because I'm slipping in truth. I'm not slipping in any comment. It's a fact. The Attorney General commended the former Minister Fazal Karim and the UNC for their work with this bill. And then the Minister of Trade and Industry simultaneously says in this debate that the UNC did nothing. So I'm not sure if the left hand knows what the right hand is doing. And the Attorney General spoke about a first-class hotel school and sandals and all of this and the opportunities. Yet he's the Attorney General in the government that shut down the Trinidad and Tobago Hotel Institute. So where exactly are we getting these great trained individuals to take part in this burgeoning in tourism industry? The Immigration Caribbean Community Skilled Nationals Amendment Bill 2022. Very long title. Really? But under the PNM for 6.5 torturous years, our citizens' skills have been thwarted, stunted, and dulled by lack of investment in education, skills development, and training, illustrated by the drastic cuts in GATE funding from $726 million by the Kamla Persad-Bissessar government in 2014 to a mere $320 million in 2021, cutting down the students and the individuals who would gain opportunities at education and therefore be in an advantageous position to take advantage of this bill and its passage here today. 59,000 students under Kamla Persad-Bissessar were benefiting annually from GATE, to a paltry now under the PNM, 28,000. 31,000 less human beings who can take advantage or who can be ready to compete with their Caribbean brothers with the passage of this bill at this time. The cuts in funding by the PNM to UTT, MIC, NESC, Trinidad and Tobago Hospitality Institute, CFTDI. It's like telling our national football team, no training, no practice matches, no gym, no balls to kick, but you must now go out and win the Caribbean Cup. That is an impossibility and puts our citizens at a disadvantage. But I know that the PNM would not understand that, because just last January, they did our national football team just that, to send them to the slaughter to USA unprepared. Our economy is in the worst state in the history of our beloved country. Let me repeat. Our economy is in the worst state in the history of our beloved country. Worse than 1983, worse than 2009 after the global collapse in 2008, worse than 1970. Foreign reserves are disappearing. Negative foreign direct investment for the 3rd consecutive year. Constant addictive dipping into the Heritage and Stabilization Fund by this PNM. Borrowing to pay recurrent expenditure by this PNM. Forex crisis in this PNM.
Senator Roberts, you are saying a lot, but you're not being relevant to the matter at hand. So I'd like you to tie in, if you want to continue, to tie into what is before us.
Madam President, I know the PNM may not understand, so I'll help them. We are talking about...
Senator Roberts, it is my ruling. Please, so just, yes.
I will tie it in with pleasure. We are here debating to open categories, as we see in Clause 7, for example, Clause 4 of the bill would amend Section 2 of the Act principally to expand the definition of certificate and dependent member, as well as Clause 7 would allow the minister with responsibility for immigration to revoke, and then Clause 10 would increase and expand the opportunities for other CARICOM nationals in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, if you are going to allow others to come into a market, into an economy, one has to identify, analyze, and state what is our economy like now? Can our citizens compete? Are we in a position to provide our people? Because charity begins at home first. So if we have to analyze the economy, then we will show that the timing of this bill is unfortunate. It is going to bring pain on our citizens, and it shows a lack of planning on the part of the government, because our economy is in the weakest state it has ever been, and our people are suffering. Unemployment is at the highest levels ever. The poverty rate is up at 30%, but yet the PNM comes here today not to bring a bill to ease the tension, not to bring a bill to encourage and to create jobs for our people at home, but to bring more competition on top of a weakened economy. And the UNC says the timing is all wrong. Not xenophobia, not anti-CARICOM. We love our CARICOM brothers and sisters, but charity begins at home, and the PNM has decimated the economy and now wants to bring others to further disadvantage our citizens. And the United National Congress says no. The debt to GDP ratio is approaching 100%. We have complete food insecurity. Education is in peril. The energy sector is on life support, yet the PNM brings this bill not to ease the pain, not to illuminate a spark of hope, not to provide oxygen for them to breathe, but a bill to pour water on an already saturated sponge. The Honorable Minister of CARICOM, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, said that the UNC is fear-mongering. But fear-mongering cannot work on an already terrified population. You can't frighten twice. Fear-mongering is only plausible if a population has the lingering belief or faith in the humanity of the government. In the case of the PNM, has their heads buried neck deep in oil and is totally unaware, the entire population is resoundingly assured of the PNM's collective heartlessness, callousness, and inhumanity. Facts create fear. Fact is that right now, large numbers of our population are unemployed, underemployed.
So, Senator Roberts, you are speaking after quite a number of speakers, and the issue of tedious repetition is arising because you're basically saying what other speakers have said. So I'll ask you please to try and move on to some other points.
Thank you, Madam President. The country sees no future under the dormant creativity of the bland PNM. If they had brought policies here today to diversify the economy, to increase creativity, to create alternate revenue streams, to produce jobs and job creation, these are all alien terms to the PNM. We now see 2 weeks ago that this PNM government, after 6.5 years in government, is now tendering out for a sports tourism master plan.
Eyes on Standing Order 53-1B.
So, Senator Roberts, it's about tedious repetition, and I will ask, I've already spoken to you on it, and I will ask you please to try and come to some new points about the bill. Okay?
Madam, I have not heard about sport tourism yet in the 12 senators who have spoken. I am now speaking about sport tourism, the lack of diversification, the lack of implementation of the PNM, who has recently tendered out for a sport tourism master plan 6.5 years after being in government, and we have gone nowhere.
Senator Roberts, listen. You can talk about a bill by saying what it is not. And you can also talk about, you're almost saying as if you're talking about a bill, but you're not talking about the bill. You're talking about matters that are not relevant to the bill. You're making some points and trying to tie it in, but please, I'm asking you, you are repeating. Sport tourism might not have come up that phrase, but basically what you are saying has been said before by other speakers in different words, but you're saying the same thing that they have said.
What am I saying? I am trying to say that we have an industry that we have no jobs, no diversification, and we are creating a bill here to create competition that we are unprepared for.
I rise on 53(1)B again, please.
Senator Roberts, just try and listen to what I'm telling you, and I ask as you move on.
Laws are meant to remedy a particular mischief or to encourage a positive activity or the implementation of a plan to benefit the wider society. So what exactly are we doing here today? Let us analyze the bill very carefully. The bill seeks to amend the Immigration, Caribbean, Community Skills National Act, Chapter 1803, hereinafter referred to as the Act, to, among other things, expand the categories of skilled nationals from other qualifying Caribbean community states to enter Trinidad and Tobago under the CARICOM single market. As we said, charity begins at home. The NIB roll shows 123,000 people have lost their jobs in the last 3 years. There are also...
Order 53(1)B, the very statistics were quoted.
Senator Roberts, I have to agree. And you also earlier in your presentation made the statement about charity. So you're repeating yourself and you're also repeating what has been said before. So can I ask you please to move on?
Thank you, Madam President. Doctors are selling doubles. Sports management degrees, people with those are driving PH. Teachers are working in retail. Undergraduate degree holders are unemployed.
I rise on standing. Madam President.
Senator Roberts, a standing order is being invoked. Attorney General, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise on standing order 53(1)B. This has exactly been put on the record.
Senator Roberts, I don't know how many times again that I can caution you about tedious repetition, so I hope that this is the last time.
Thank you, Madam President. All of this occurred before COVID-19, and then came the COVID-19 pandemic, and the mismanagement that by the PNM has led to over 44% of businesses
President,
will never
rise
be...
on standing order 53(1)B.
Senator Roberts, just finish your point and move on.
The time is to rebuild, renew, and regenerate, not to expand the labor force. Our labor force is operating at approximately 70%, and we need our opportunities to move on. $7.5 billion of VAT is owed by this government to small businesses, which are the engine room of job creation. $7.5 billion. This is stifling and suffocating business. And yet at this time, when the government is unable to repay VAT refunds, utilizing money as a low interest
order 46(1).
Senator Roberts, just continue.
Thank you, Madam. Because the idea here is that we need to generate jobs. We need to be competitive, and our citizens must have the opportunity so to do. So if the government cannot pay what it is duly legally so to do, to encourage business, to create jobs, to leave our people at the mercy of others coming in to take what little is there, could never be good planning on the part of this government. There is no cash flow, but they're making more labor available. We have porous borders. Over 16,000 illegal immigrants have been registered.
Senator Roberts, please, you are taking this debate beyond what is relevant. You are taking it beyond. So I'll ask you, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me try to let you know where I'm going. This is an immigration bill, an immigration policy. It is seeking to amend immigration laws. Immigration laws and policy only work if border control exists. If there is no border control...
Senator Roberts, that is stretching the issue of relevance. It really is. Okay, so because the bill has the word immigration in it, doesn't mean that everything about immigration is covered in a debate, and can be. So what I would ask you to do, I see you're trying to make your points. I'll ask you to tighten up, get to the point quickly.
Okay, let me tighten it, because you came up a bit early. I'm not talking about porous borders only. I am saying that if we are here making laws, we must not make laws that put law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage. So if your immigration border control policy allows those who are willing to break the law to get through, as they say, or to get in, to get jobs, then we are here putting law-abiding citizens and parameters on them to apply for work permits, to get permission, to be under scrutiny of the minister with responsibility. But other people who are not law-abiding are coming in at 149 points across Trinidad and Tobago. And any law that puts law-abiding citizens at a disadvantage could not be a just and moral law. The PNM could not control the porous borders during a global pandemic, bringing death and...
Madam President, I rise on Standing Order 46-1 and Standing Order 53-1B.
Senator Roberts, I allowed you to expand on your point on immigration. I did allow you, and regretfully, in my view, it was not tied in to the matter at hand. Please, you have a few more minutes. I will ask you, please, just try and be relevant to the bill, okay?
Thank you, Madam President. The PNM has no plan, and we come here today to debate a bill that does not fit into the situation that exists in this country in any form or fashion. Up to now, Independent Senator Sharice Seepersad has been begging the PNM, begging the Honorable Attorney General to bring their legislative agenda. However, he can't, because just like Emailgate, it does not exist.
On Standing Order 46-1.
Senator Roberts, please, I will ask you to try and be relevant to the bill, and I have to tell you at this stage that I can't give you any more opportunities after this, okay?
The government has no statistics nor information to inform this bill. We've listened to senator from the government side after senator, and none of them could give us any up-to-date statistics. They have promised the National Statistical
on Standing Order 55-1B. 53-1B.
Continue, Senator Roberts.
Thank you very much, Madam President. No statistics, no information. The government promised a National Institute for Statistics in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. They gave up in 2021. They promised it, and they have not brought it. The government has announced a CSO statistics survey that's going to cost $150 million. Why did the government not wait for that plan before bringing this legislation? Because that would have informed whether the time was right, whether the population was ready, whether the economy was in a position...
Senator Roberts, you have 5 more
was
minutes.
in a position to compete with the rest of the CARICOM. Bringing this bill without data is like curtailing a rescue mission without intelligence, without knowledge, without trying to save lives. Then again, when the PNM has full information, they make wrong choices, whether it's Petrotrin with the Lashley McKinsey Solomon report which provided statistics and data.
At this stage, I'm going to have to ask you to end your contribution. I can't anymore ask you to be relevant. I've asked you too many times during your contribution. So I'm going to have to now ask you to...
Not surprising, ma'am.
Senator Roberts, hold on. Senator Roberts, please, before you leave, please apologize for what you just
I
said.
humbly apologize to you, Madam President.
Leader of Government Business.